It's easy to look around and notice everything wrong in your city. In this podcast by Every Neighborhood Partnership, join Grace and Andrew as they invite friends, activists, pastors, leaders, and city workers to discover what's good in the neighborhood. Join us for insightful conversations that will encourage you to see your city and its people in a new way. You're listening to What's Good in the Neighborhood. We are starting a new series today. We're really excited about it. It's just going to be Andrew and I. But we're starting a series called The Neighboring Practice. In a world increasingly divided by ideology and distanced by digital screens, the most radical act you can perform is to simply show up where you are. But being a good neighbor isn't just an instinct, it's a skill. It requires building specific muscles like proximity, reciprocity, and endurance. In this series, we're sitting down with Fresno leaders who have moved past the follow button to do the hard, beautiful work of living life together. Join us as we learn the practical skills needed to love the people right outside our front door.
Grace, welcome to What's Good in the Neighborhood. I said that like this is my podcast, I guess. Did I just take it over?
Andrew is the leader of this podcast. I'm just here. No, you did not. I thought it was great.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I more so heard it as like, welcome to my neighborhood.
Welcome to my neighborhood. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
We do have a neighboring series. So yes, we are starting a new series, as you heard in the intro. And I'm excited about this. Like, you know, as we kind of always think, one, if you have suggestions, feel free to email Grace or I, Andrew, or grace@everyneighborhood.org. But we have been doing a teaching series for a church here in town. And that series has got us thinking about, like, what does it mean to be a good neighbor? What are the skills we want these folks in the class to learn and to think about? So, yeah, I think that was kind of the genesis of this conversation.
Yep. And one of the things I think we've also, identified is that for some weird reason, neighboring / addressing the things that break God's heart are now political. Like, everybody has a hot take or an opinion on what it means to step in close. And it's because, frankly, we see it and we deal with it all the time. Every Californian has a feeling about homelessness, for example, right? Because we live within it, or even immigration, different things like that. And so now it's no longer just a matter of, well, this is what it means to be a Christian. Now it's a matter of, does this also fit my political rhetoric?
Yeah. There's a really great book. Peter Block wrote a book called Community, and the thesis, and he's one of the godfathers of asset-based community development. His whole framework is what has happened in society is that we have outsourced our social services and our social care to institutions. Mm-hmm. So the stuff that the average neighbor used to do, the community would surround a family, or the way just family and neighborhoods worked. We now have said that's an institution's job, which then means it's a policy, it's a political decision that then the government is choosing. Yes. So I think that also adds to the dynamic that's happened in society, where it's it's that system's responsibility to solve these things.
Yes.
Instead of my responsibility.
Yes. So that's on one side of the spectrum. And then I was even just thinking about how today, in social media world, there's people literal influencers that will find someone in need on the street.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yes,
and then they'll raise a bunch of money for them, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
My kids love Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
And I've seen this video. I've seen a couple of videos like that. Yeah.
And it's great. Yeah. But I think we end up basically farming out our generosity, where we watch a video, oh my gosh, my heart goes out to them, I'll give money, and then we go, check a box, or I've done my generosity for the week.
And that would just be just as guilty on the faith side, right? Mm-hmm. My small group has been talking about mission and service, and our group is a group of folks that are involved in our city, care deeply about our city, But the impetus even that we have felt from church and we had to like refine ourselves is like, we don't have to just do a service project. Like we don't need the gold star. Like we don't need to do, like, what does it mean to support each other's lifestyle of serving others? But like, that is just so baked into the cake that like there is a moral obligation to do a task, and then you can know you're done with that thing. I have served. I have helped.
Yes.
I have been a good neighbor one time.
Yes. Yeah. Spiritually, I recently been reading 1 Samuel, and Samuel says to Saul, "I don't care about your burnt offerings. Like, I care about your sacrifice." Yeah, which is like, or the Lord doesn't. He's saying the Lord doesn't care about it. Your He doesn't care about whatever you're doing.
Yep.
Yeah, he cares about your heart, and it's just a good little, okay, a little kick in the pants.
Yeah, Isaiah 1's like my favorite for that. Same, it was like, I get rid of your feasts and your new moons and all this stuff. Like, care about the justice, care about the people.
Yes. Yeah. So good.
So who are we going to be having on this podcast? Give me a little example.
So many great people. I'm really excited about this one. And I think even just to set that up before we say the people is that each episode will be titled a practice that we feel like they are really embodying. And it is truly people we feel, and even just from observation, are like, not only are maybe you leading in spaces, but also you're like doing it. Like, I think that really stands out to me when we think about Casey and Christy at Good Dirt. In our conversation, we don't even touch on it, but like one of the things that really stood out to me was like, oh, y'all, like, you're not just CEOs of this nonprofit. You're like in the weeds of these people's lives. That's hard to like not just run a nonprofit, but then also like care deeply about the people that they're working with.
Everybody on this series is in leadership in some form or function, but like the path that they got there, even I get this, like people will be like, I've been, 20 years now in ministry. And people are like, what was your plan? And how long, I'm like, I showed up to a thing and like just kept showing up. And, I think Chrissy and Casey are those examples of like moms who saw an issue about foster youth, decided to become foster parents, and got thrust into a world that they did not know and needed a lot of skills and help for.
Yeah. Christy says, I could keep walking through Target and going to the park.
Coffee shop.
Yeah, but I did this instead. It's a whole sermon.
So you mentioned, like cultivation, empathy, consistency, reciprocity, proximity, and staying are those like key things as we thought about like what are the practices of anybody that is a good neighbor. Those are life practices that like you keep showing up. You when you don't understand, you try to practice empathy. When you're frustrated with something, you think about what is their life like? That it really does. Proximity matters. Like the things you're close to are the things you care about. And so how is it not their problem, but my problem? And so how do you be proximate to these issues? Right. So these are all the themes we saw. And we just, as we reflected, we're like, who are people that represent these ideas?
Yeah. Another one I'm excited about is Dave Hansen from Students International, dear family friend of my husband and I. But one of my favorite things about Dave is I've gone to a lot of different countries with him. He knows every single person's name, how many kids they have, and he's running a multi-country organization. We could be in any country, and he's like, this is so-and-so. He has this many kids. They've been married for 12 years. I'm like,
that's amazing.
How does he do, and he's like, not a spring chicken.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, I love that he's going to be doing the practice of staying, because as much as they are touching so many different places, he's chosen to give his life away to this organization and the work. And so that's what I'm excited about.
I've never met Dave. So I'm very, everybody's like, how have you not met Dave? My wife and I monthly support Students International. We've had an amazing relationship with their Costa Rican director, Jeff Dixon. And so love the work. And I was a part of, helping teams go and visit Students International. So a huge fan. Yeah. So it'll be a fanboy conversation. And another one of mine for
good.
My brother's going to be on.
Yay.
I was thinking about, I haven't had my brother on. And it just really appreciate, I've been up close to see his journey, and the like way that he has walked alongside folks. I think we maybe shared this in one of the conversations, but like, even to a guy that was, when he was at Neighborhood Thrift, that was homeless on the streets, he's walked with him for over the last 10 years. That gentleman is the guy who fixed EMP's building and retrofitted it. Like, just a crazy journey of showing up and being that person that can do back and forth relationships, like values the back and forth giving and exchange. And so reciprocity and my brother's ability to stay in a relationship with people and know that he's not the only one that has, but he can also receive. Man, what a gift. Yeah.
So cool. What else? Who else?
So we're going to have Kendra from Harvest.
Heartland Compass.
Thank you. I was like, Harvest is not right. Heartland Compass, they're a partner of ours in some of the citywide work that we do, and just have really experienced and seen their partnership of supporting employees, employers' employees. And so creating like pathways and help for, larger companies that, have vulnerable populations. So that's pretty cool. And then James Williams is a new church partner of EMP's. He's actually doing some literacy mentoring work. Him and his church are doing some literacy work with EMP in the Edison region, Bethune. And just like somebody that's showing up for kids. He has a background that he was incarcerated, got out, and just like his life has been radically changed. He's like, I got to show up for kids. I'm going to be there for them. Really does a lot of youth sports. And so he's like, every day these kids are going to know that James is there. I'm with them. I'm walking with them. So I've talked to him a couple of times and just knew like his journey, his story is really powerful. And what he does through consistency.
I'm so excited. I think one of the things that when we were thinking through this series is like the power of being close, and that a lot of believers, Christians feel like not like they know a lot, like they have a lot of knowledge, they feel really equipped in that way, but when feel like they've hit some type of ceiling of like, where do I go from here? What do I do? And when service is a box to check off, then we just discount it. We miss out on proximate relationships, getting close to people that are in mess, because we all have mess and we're all poor at some level. So what does it mean to actually give your life away to either your actual neighbors, like your people that live next door to you, or like that question of who is my neighbor? And Jesus leaves it kind of open-ended.
Yeah, I think, again, the theme I know that, like, we've already done a couple of these interviews, so I'll just, leak that. But what I already heard and what I know is also going to come through is that, like, we often we got to get away from thinking that this is some task, obligation, like, this is about finding true life. And I heard that already. Like, if we really, really, really believe that, like, to give your life away, you will find it. Like, if that is true, we have like the joy is actually to give your life away. And what inspires me to do this work is these moments where it is hard. It's sometimes like it's not worth it, but then you find these moments of just joy and blessing and transformation that you're like, it's all worth it. Like sacrifice is worth it. And you're not going to find it through consuming another thing, through liking another thing online, buying another thing, going to some vacation. Like it's life is not going to be found there.
Yeah.
And all these people I know that story will ring true. So I think it's just a reminder of like service is the pathway to true life.
Yeah. Well, and I think the worst, this has really come to light as we've been doing this workshop, is for this local church in town, is the worst thing that we can do is communicate that you should care about this because you should care.
Yes. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to, that push to care it's not sustainable. Yeah. But I had the students today read a piece of a quote from a gal, but she says the kingdom of God does not replace intimacy with rules. It reorders intimacy around truth. So if real life and real truth is found on the other side of me getting real close to the poor, then that means that my intimacy with God will expand, not get smaller. Yeah. But we think when we give our lives away, I'm gonna lose something, or we focus so deeply on like the quote unquote martyrdom of it. Yeah. Like I've sacrificed so much. And yeah, again, in a lot of these interviews, I think we'll hear is like, no, there's so much more life actually on the other side of that sacrifice. And so you'll actually experience real intimacy, not rules. But yeah.
You lose control and you gain all this other. Yeah. I keep thinking about how we don't do this because of control. I want my life ordered, and I want my time measured, and I want to have it on my terms, right? Like that is so much the driver that keeps me from like making these decisions too, you know? Even though like this is part of my work, in my personal life, I'm like, the control is the thing that limits my exposure to the vulnerable.
Yes.
And so when I give away control, like there's actually beauty. It's just a little chaotic. You know, we've already talked a lot about mess. And yet that is where joy is found.
Yeah. Well, and frankly,
that's who we are. We're messy.
Yes. Like abundance isn't logical.
Yes. Yeah.
It doesn't actually make sense. It's not like an economically strategic move on the surface. It doesn't, in our world, in our culture, it does not make sense for me to go in near somebody who maybe time and time again has, made bad choices, moral failing, whatever, wherever they find themselves on the spectrum of the poor or the vulnerable or the oppressed. But God tells me that there's something there on the other side of that for me. It's just not going to look like there is.
Yeah.
I got to get past that and go to where he's inviting. Yeah. I'm really excited.
It's going to be good. Well, hold on with your bootstraps. Is that what they say? With your bootstraps? I don't have boots.
Oh, no.
So if you have boots, hold on to your boots.
Hold on to your boot.
It's going to be good. Really looking forward to it. Yeah. I'm good with the phrases.
Yeah. I liked that.
Yeah. Well, really looking forward to these conversations. So they'll kick off. I think we got about 6 of them or so. And so, join us for the neighboring practice.
Yeah.
See y'all.
See you.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to find out more about EMP, you can visit us at everyneighborhood.org or follow us at EMP Fresno. Every Neighborhood Partnership and this podcast exists to activate, equip, mobilize, and transform here in Fresno and beyond. If you liked what you've heard, please share and review what's good in the neighborhood wherever you listen. We'll see you next time.